Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. EQA Nostalgia here, and the Resident Evil 2 fan remake has been canceled, which is a major fucking bummer. And the reason for this is Capcom came out and asked these guys, can you please cancel this? We're officially remaking the game, and obviously they had to comply. They did make a little bit of a statement saying that, if the game's gonna be remade, it's best to be done, in the original producer's hands. Which, I agree with that, but at the same time, I was excited to play it. Now, there was another fan recreation project for Resident Evil 2 that came out, but the guy who made it, he kind of just kept it to himself. I don't know if he just handed it out to specific people, but he never released it to the public. And I have seen what it looks like, and it looked pretty decent. But most of the stuff that they were just using like character models and things from Dark Side Chronicles, I think. One of the Wii games. I can't remember. There's been a couple of them that were done. It was kind of like a on-rails shooter, I believe. But yeah, it's a bummer because I really wanted to try that out. And as excited as I am for the remake for Resident Evil 2, I am worried that they might not make it classic. I'm thinking they're going to do that. They're going to make it a lot like the original remake. At least I'm hoping they do. But if they don't, and at the same time they had these guys stop production on something that would have delivered that, that's really going to piss a lot of people off. Something that is interesting though, Invader Games, the guys that were doing the fan remake, they've been invited by Capcom to discuss the remake, the official remake. So that's pretty cool. They've invited the fans over there and they want to get their input. Then maybe they'll actually give these guys a job. Who knows what's going to come of that. But I think it's really good of Capcom to do that. And it's interesting. It shows that they are interested in hearing what the fans have to say about it. Because you can't ignore the importance of what your consumer base wants, and I think they kind of lost touch with that. I think they know they've lost touch with that with Resident Evil 6 things. The sales were decent, but that game was just all over the place. It just wasn't Resident Evil, man. And earlier in the month, we saw them on Facebook asking the fans, if we did make Resident Evil 2 Remake, what would you like to see? So they're definitely interested in hearing from us, and it's cool that they're bringing those guys on board. That gives me more faith, because I think these guys knew, being fans, exactly what all of us wanted. But it has to suck, and I know they're not coming out and saying this, the guys behind it, behind the fan remake. It has to suck to get so far on something. I don't know how far along they were, but then you have to stop. And Capcom hasn't shown an insensitivity to that, because they're inviting them to talk with them. So who knows? Maybe they'll let them get in on the development side of things. It would be really cool if they did that, but I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I don't think anybody really knows except the people that are there doing it. In terms of production on Resident Evil 2, the official remake, we have no idea how far along that is. I can only assume that it's in the early concept phase. I don't know how long it's going to take for that to come out. The original Resident Evil took a little over a year. Resident Evil 2, rather, it took a little over a year for that to come out. But by today's standards, it probably takes about double the length time for a Resident Evil to be made. I would assume anyway that we're probably about 2 years away from a release. If it comes any sooner than that, I'd be really surprised. But nevertheless, I am pretty bummed out that I don't get to play both versions, because hey, 2 is better than 1, right? And that goes in more ways than one. What I'm saying there, if you catch my meaning, I definitely did like 2 better than 1. Although Remake was absolutely amazing. And I know there's purists out there that like the original better than Remake, but I'm not one of them. I thought Remake took the original formula, expanded on it, and made it that much better. But at any rate, I just wanted to get this out there. This is pretty recent news, so it's good to have something to talk about in terms of Resident Evil, because it's been a while since we really had anything, at least classic, to dig into. I mean, with Remake and now with Zero and Resident Evil 2, I can see a lot more discussion happening on this channel. So if you're interested in that, and if it's your first time to my channel, I ask that you please subscribe. Please go ahead and leave a like if you like this video so other people can see it. I thank you all for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all in my next video.